Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this webinar on maximizing uptime with smart ultrafiltration membrane solutions for water treatment. My name is Lorien Grobelaar, and I lead the sales engineering team here at NX Filtration. I hold a master's degree in chemical engineering and joined NX Filtration in early 2023. Prior to that, I worked in the South African water treatment industry, where I was involved in the design and implementation of various water treatment systems. Here at NX Filtration, I collaborate closely with our global sales and application engineering teams to support the adoption of our innovative hollow fiber membrane technologies across a wide range of markets globally. For today's agenda, we will kick off with a poll to find out why you are attending this webinar on ultrafiltration. We will then do a short introduction on NX Filtration, our global UF footprint, and we will touch on some of the industrial challenges during this session, after which we will introduce you to our ultrafiltration product range and the retrofitting capabilities of our UF portfolio. Once we've highlighted the benefits of using the NX Filtration UF product range, we will introduce a few references where our UF membranes have operated over the past years. We are happy to answer your questions, so please feel free to put them in the Q&A during the session, and we will make sure to answer them at the end of the session. And if we perhaps run out of time and we do not get to your question, we will reach out to you directly. Also, just necessary for me to mention is that this webinar is being recorded and the file will be shared with you afterwards. So please relax and enjoy this webinar with me and my colleagues. Joining me in this webinar today is my colleagues Rick Talintolo and Tim Severin. Rick is our Global Sales Director here at NX Filtration, and he brings more than 25 years of experience in commercial and strategic leadership roles. With a background in chemical engineering, Rick is known for driving growth and performance across companies of all sizes. He combines strategic vision with hands-on execution and plays a pivotal role in expanding the global reach of NX Filtration's sustainable ultrafiltration membrane technologies. His leadership is instrumental in positioning NX Filtration as a key player in the global transformation of water treatment solutions. Tim is a sales engineer here at NX Filtration with more than 5 years experience at the company. He supports customers in implementing next generation membrane solutions for both water and wastewater treatment. With a background in chemical and process engineering, Tim blends technical expertise with a strong focus on customer needs. He works closely with OEMs, utilities, and industrial partners to provide tailored support and helps to accelerate the adoption of our hollow fiber technologies in Europe and beyond. So now that I've introduced our team to you, I would like to start with a poll to get a better understanding of who our audience is and to see what your needs are. So please go ahead and participate in the poll. Okay, so I see here in the results that most of our audience is looking for replacement options, which is great because today's webinar will be focusing on replacement of ultrafiltration membranes. So if you also are looking for our products to be, or for ultrafiltration products, and you're working on a greenfield project, please stick along and we will see what products we have available and how these can be used in your greenfields project. So also please do not hesitate to reach out to us directly for any project-specific assistance where our team can help you select the right product for your project. First, I would like to start with introducing NX Filtration just at a glance. NX originally started as a nanofiltration company and was founded in 2016, and we are based here in Hengelo in the Netherlands. We manufacture advanced hollow fiber membranes, including nanofiltration, ultrafiltration, and micro-filtration. And these membranes we distribute globally through our 5 regional sales offices. We've launched more than 400 projects since 2021, with municipal wastewater being our fastest growing application area at present. In 2024, we've successfully started up our new large-scale factory here in Hengelo in the Netherlands, where our headquarters, which allowed us to scale up from 10,000 membrane modules to 60,000 modules a year, with the possibility to further scale up to 120,000 modules per year. Our factory was designed with an ESG mindset, and here I'd just like to highlight that we have our own in-house water treatment facility, which treats water from a nearby canal, and this water that we produce is then actually used to produce the membranes that we currently have available in the market. Our product portfolio covers a broad range of hollow fiber membrane modules, including nanofiltration, ultrafiltration, and microfiltration. For the purpose of this webinar, I would like to highlight our ultrafiltration range, which is used in a wide range of applications, including RO pretreatment, potable water, and wastewater reuse. Our ultrafiltration range includes the 150 kilodalton membrane, which is best for removal of small particles, bacteria, and viruses. Then we also have a tighter ultrafiltration membrane, the 10 kilodalton, which is best for colloidal silica removal. These membranes can be used to replace some of the existing products currently in the market, but you will hear more about this later from my colleague Rick. Our nanofiltration membranes ranges between 400 and 800 Dalton molecular weight cutoff, and we operate these membranes between 12 and 35 LMH, dependent on the water source. These membranes, the nanofiltration membranes, are specifically designed to remove organics, color and COD from the water, and this is without the need for chemical dosing. And then finally, our microfiltration range is mostly used in the food and beverage industry and is ideally suited for high quality clarification of beverages, and is also used in the dairy and pharmaceutical industry. So now that you've seen our product portfolio, you can also see that we've served many projects globally with our ultrafiltration membranes. This includes presence in the municipal and also the industrial markets. But this is where I will hand over to my colleague Rick, who will tell you more about our ultrafiltration product portfolio and why you should consider replacing your membranes with the NX Filtration ultrafiltration membranes. Over to you, Rick.
When customers start thinking about membrane replacement, it's rarely just because the old membranes have reached the end of their life. There's several strategic and operational drivers behind this decision, and it's important to understand them, especially when positioning our technology as a valuable upgrade. First, aging of the membranes, which results in performance degradation. This is a common trigger: lower flux, more frequent cleaning cycles, or declining product quality. But more and more customers are focusing on operational cost drivers: high energy consumption, excessive chemical use, labor-intensive maintenance routines. In other words, increasing OPEX. Then there's the regularity and sustainability aspect. Customers are under growing pressure to meet stricter discharge limits or reducing their environmental footprint. In these cases, a membrane upgrade can contribute to ESG goals and avoid risk for regularity and reputational exposure due to the offering of future-proof PFAS-free membranes. Another key factor is better life cycle cost. In other words, process optimization. For example, upgrading membranes can allow for higher recovery, capacity expansion, or more stable operation under challenging feed conditions, all without major infrastructural changes. Another critical driver is OEM flexibility and second source strategy. Many customers are looking to diversify their supply chain and reduce reliance on a single membrane vendor. By qualifying alternative suppliers, they gain resilience, all without compromising performance. On the previous slide, we showed the key drivers to consider membrane replacements. This slide, we want to link these drivers to the NX membrane principles, namely PES, single bore and inside out. Our PES, polyether sulfone-based membranes, combine high performance and reliability, delivering strong flux, low fouling, and consistent pathogen removal. And as mentioned previously, with the choice for PES, you avoid risks for irregularity and reputational exposure due to the offering of future-proof PFAS-free membranes. Our single-bore membranes offer robust and reliable performance even in demanding conditions. They're designed for easy and effective cleaning, reducing downtime and maintenance effort. And with uncompromised integrity, they ensure long-term operational safety and consistent water quality. In my 27-year-long membrane career, I've predominantly worked with the membrane principles as mentioned on this slide. And I can assure you that PES single-bore membranes have an excellent track record and are not inferior to, for example, multi-bore membranes. Our inside-out based membranes ensure maximum fiber protection, support energy-efficient operation, and deliver long-lasting durability for lower life cycle cost and reliable performance. I mentioned earlier the key drivers to consider membrane replacement. One of our strengths is membrane module compatibility. In many cases, our modules can replace existing systems one for one, without the need for the modifications to piping or skids. This saves downtime, cost, and complexity. Furthermore, as we adapt the existing control philosophy of the systems, the integration goes seamlessly. We have successfully replaced modules from brands such as DuPont, Inge, Pentair, Hydronautics, and others on a global scale. We therefore have a proven track record of our full-scale referencing on various applications, which confirms the performance and lifetime expectations of our membrane products. Our membranes are backed by the major potable water certifications, meeting strict international standards for safe drinking water, like NSF 61, NSF 419, Dutch Kiwa, the French ACS, the German KTW, and the Chinese MOH. They provide high log removal performance up to log 6 for bacteria and log 4 for viruses, ensuring reliable pathogen protection. Combined with a long operational lifetime, they deliver trusted long-term performance. Now that we have introduced the portfolio and its characteristics, we expect that you are very interested in our product range for your retrofit needs. So we have here the following product ranges available for you, starting with the retrofit module portfolio, which are the compatible dimensions with leading UF brands as mentioned before. The products you see here are available in both horizontal as well as vertical configuration, depending on the project requirements. The molecular weight cutoff of this range is 150 kilodalton, and the inner diameter is 0.8 millimeter. And we have a variety of surface areas between 41 and 65 square meters. We have a membrane retrofit tool available in order to answer your requests for replacement in a smooth and easy way. Please contact us in case you have such question, and we will guide you through. Next to this, the retrofit program, we have the HydroCap series. Due to the transition of this range in October 2020 to NX, we have the full range available for your retrofit needs, avoiding system adjustments resulting in hassle-free replacement. These products are equipped with the same fiber as the retrofit module portfolio of the previous slide. But in addition, we do have an LD series available, which has a larger inner diameter for the more challenging applications. However, both modules are having the same 150 kilodalton molecular weight cutoff. The HydroCap range, however, is only available in a vertical configuration, as you can see on the slide. Last but not least, we do have our tight ultrafiltration portfolio. This product is mainly used for the removal of colloidal silica applications for greenfield project, but also for the replacement of existing systems, for amongst others, Pentair and Coke. This membrane has our unique 10 kilodalton membrane and has an inner diameter of 0.7 millimeter. It's available in a 43 and a 54 square meter surface area. On this slide, we highlight some of the performance declarations we have received directly from our customers in the field. These are real-world validations of how our technology is performing. These declarations confirm the reliability and robustness of our technology. Our customers are consistently seeing strong operational performance, and importantly, these aren't one-off installations. Many of these customers are now recurring clients, coming back to us for additional skid replacements or for new greenfield projects, which is the strongest endorsement we can receive. Now, to bring all these declarations to life, my colleague Tim Severin will take you through some of the detailed case studies, which are our real installations with actual data and clear before and after comparisons. So Tim, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Rick. And yeah, I'm just taking the control. So I warm welcome everyone from my side to this webinar today. Nice that you all joined. As Rick said, we're going to dive a bit into the case studies, and I'd like to guide you through a selection of our references that we have and put together for you. So let's start right directly into it, starting with a case in the Middle East in Saudi Arabia. It's with our partner Kendasa. It's an RO pretreatment site where we treat seawater desalination plant for potable water production. And this plant contains our well-known HydroCap series. It has been started initially in 2006 by Hydronautics, from which we took over the series. And we started our first replacements in 2021 together with the partners there. So by now the whole system has been replaced. The 880 modules have been installed with only NX membranes. And you can see on the right-hand side the treatment scheme with a flux of 70 to 80 LMH. And in total already 4 years of smooth and trouble-free performance for this site. The next site is another RO pretreatment site, a big one, this time in India. It's also seawater desalination at Tuticorin in India for a power plant. So here, instead of producing potable water, the water is used for the cooling water in the power plant site. Also here, our well-known HydroCap 60 modules are replacing, were used for replacing. So this is an initial plant that's been started up in 2013. And we started our first replacement jobs here in 2022 with our partners in India. By now, we have replaced around 75% of this installation. And as you can imagine, for such a system size, this goes typically in sequences. So you do not replace all the modules at once. So we are, since 3 years already working together with the partner here and are the preferred choice for the replacements, also the upcoming ones in the next years. Looking forward to have then 100% NX Filtration running system here in India. It's quite a big size of 57 MLD. And as you can see, the main target here is to produce a water that is suitable for the RO that then does the desalination job. So SDI, turbidity removal, but also, of course, pathogens. Another site in India where we've recently been qualified for is the Nemeli plant in Chennai. It's originally built in 2013. A similar type of installation. This time it contains our WMD220 UF150 modules, so a bit of a different configuration. As you can see, our first NX replacement is in 2025. So this year we're quite proud. It's a big size, 220 MLD. And also here you can imagine this replacement is running in sequences. So the first one has just been sold. And we are the trusted partner for this recent replacement, and we hope most are to come. We are very happy with this big reference that we have been selected by our partner Vabak to be the membrane supplier of choice, because that also, of course, gives us the trust that people trust our products, they know the performance, and that they are reliable and last long in the market. Another recent site is this plant in Germany. This time not seawater or desalination, but it's a well water for drinking water treatment. So here, the interesting part here is that it has a very, very short turnover time. So it was just replaced currently in April. We got the first lead of this plant that they needed a replacement not even 4 months from today. And that is also the conclusion here. Because we had the 101 compatibility and worked closely with our partner WAT Memratech, we were able to have a fast-tracked replacement also with, of course, delivery times that we could match to have a replacement in less than half a year up and running. And so far, the installation is running very well. We've just got feedback from the client that they need to adjust their graphs because the permeability is higher than what they plotted before. So some initial, in brackets, problems that we are very happy to hear. Chemical cleanings have been enlarged very much with the replacement here. So all in all, nice signs from the market that our membranes perform well, do the job well, and are directly compatible with currently installed systems. This one is actually not a replacement project, but we wanted to also add this here to our list of references because it's quite a long-running plant. This is together with Naya Sour Industries in Eastern Europe. It's actually a wastewater reclamation plant, so reuse for process water, 5 MLD, and this plant has been set up and running since 2019. So it's one of our oldest plants with UF membranes. Here is a simple pre-treatment scheme of sand filter, then the UF, and then there is an RO skid behind what you can see on the picture, allowing for direct reuse in that water factory to reduce the water footprint and water consumption in that water-stressed area. So also here we have more than 6 years of dependable performance in a demanding application like such an industrial wastewater that is pre-treated, showing the benefits of our products, and that was also one of the performance declarations you could see that Rick was showing before. Now that we've spent a few words on the different cases that we have in different applications like seawater desalination, RO pretreatment, municipal wastewater, and so on, we'd like to have a bit of a success story here, a deep dive into a case, the UF replacement we've currently done in Saint-Pois, together with our partner Sour in France, which is a nice example of how such a replacement can work out. So here a site overview. The plant is located in France, as I said, in Saint-Pois, the city name. With our partner Sour, we work together, and this is another drinking water plant which produces water from a surface water in this case. On the right-hand side, you can see the rough treatment scheme with the pre-treatment of coagulation, flocculation, the carboflux technology, and the sand filter. The UF is in place here mainly as a virus and bacteria pathogen control, so removal unit for the disinfection as the ultimate barrier, and to remove residual turbidity and TSS that may pass the sand filter. This system is a horizontally configured installation, so you have the UF modules in pressure vessels. In total, there's 4 elements in one vessel. So we have here a total installation of 48 elements. 3.6 MLD. And the plant has been started up in 2014, so by now 11 years, which also, is the nice bridge to why replace now. So what convinced Sour to choose NX Filtration and replace its membranes in the system? They have been running for more than 10 years already, the membranes, and there was a replacement included in their long-term service contract for the site. So replacement was at some point inevitable. We offered them a nice, budget-efficient replacement with a well-planned structure behind it. So that was a nice package which convinced Sour. Next to that, they could save costs, which they can redirect into other parts of that plant, which they also need to maintain and under the service contract. And on the same side, we also made a deal to have a support package of 2 years for the performance monitoring that then helps to optimize the plant further and even improve their operation even further. So how did this replacement go on? Here's a timeline that roughly we started the discussion a year ago in March. Our local team in France, Rick said we have local presences all around the world, which is of course helpful for these things. So we have a local team there that was directly in contact with Sour, and based on the discussions, the compatibility was confirmed, and also the performance discussions about what the membrane shall fulfill and what we had to prove that our membranes can do were held. And then we got positive feedbacks because then in December we received the order from Sour for the replacement, and agreed on the commercial terms, which was also a fast replacement scheme. So not 2 months later, we had a joint site visit. The NX team, together with the Sour people, visited the site and had a, let's say, a pre-visit, preparation meeting to check out all the site conditions to make the replacement smooth and without any interruptions. And then in March already, we had the replacement done. So it was a very smooth module exchange. It lasted less than 3 days because of the well-prepared site by Sauer. They are very experienced, of course, with replacing membranes. So all in all, there was a superb job done by everyone involved in this project. And then we had a seamless start to water production. So all in all, this took less than a year from the first discussions to the order received to the membrane replacement, which then is of course also a nice feature that we can offer, that we can just ship fastly and help support you quite on time with your replacement if you need. Here, a little visual of the execution at a glance. Pictures taken from before and after. So opening the vessels, you can see on the top the old installed membrane that has seen quite some years of operation. Yeah, it has seen quite some water already, some pollution. And on the bottom side, you can see the freshly new installed NX filtration membrane in the vessel. So the vessels, not only the modules were replaced, of course, also the old vessels were cleaned, seals were exchanged, which also then the integrity was restored, of course, for the whole system. So all in all, a nice replacement job that refurbished the system to make it ready for the future to run a lot of years now with our membranes again. You see here also not only that we've replaced it smoothly, but also in the first, part of this contract was also this performance operation review contract. So you see on the left-hand side our turbidity removal. In green, the filtrate side, all below 0.05 NTU turbidity. So a reliable turbidity removal, that's what the membrane should do. And permeability is also stable. We are tracking this onward. So this is now the first 2 months because we just replaced in March, and we're happy to collect more data and make a long-term trends of this installation together with Sauer, work on the collaboration, and extend this partnership and this review for this plant. Concluding this, we can say that the Saint-Pois was really a model also for future replacements. So we had a fast and well-prepared execution. The Sauer team really did a superb job on site, having all the equipment ready. The plan was there, the personnel also. So in less than 3 days, the whole rack was first of all uninstalled, cleaned, then reinstalled with the new membranes, flushed, and then integrity tested and up and running. There was high confidence in the performance, and we also had a smooth restart because of the well preparation, which paid off. And now we also have the add-on that we can follow up and optimize the plant further with our partner. So we really saw that the early engagement paid off. Also, like a site visit really helps you to prevent any unforeseen things. We made it possible here to have a low disruptive replacement basically on the run, and now a strong collaboration there in which we provide the support before, during, but also after the replacement, which is important for us to not only have a client for one installation, but then keep the conversation going, maintain the relationship for future plant upgrades or replacements. Yeah, so that was a short view on our different replacement references we've so far, let's say a short snapshot on what we've done so far in different applications, a bit of a deep dive and a best practice how a replacement can go, and maybe also to hear a bit from you. We might like to have another poll on to see what the key factors you are exploring in your retrofit options. So please take a bit of time and select an option for the most important feature here in the polls, what you're looking after in your replacement. I see the first polls coming in. There's a close race between robustness and compatibility, which is, of course, key factors. Also, cost is important there. I think that doesn't surprise me that people are looking for a robust replacement. They want to ensure that the systems are running fine after replacement, as good as before, or even preferably even better. And also the compatibility. You want to have, of course, no problems when replacing, and we can assure you there that we will be very closely working together with you on checking out the site, checking the module dimensions, what you have currently installed, reviewing and see what our module types are, if they are compatible, or also if not. That is also not always a no-go. So we also replace sites where little modifications were necessary, but still the client was willing to trust because of the robustness factor, because they were trusting and wanted to have NX membranes installed. So then also it's possible to do little modification on a skid to enable a different membrane type to be installed. So that also is something where we can have a look and work together, collaborate if that is possible. Thank you for all the polls, the votes there. And I think now I will hand back to my colleague Rick.
Thank you, Tim. All right, I see already a lot of questions coming in. So we're coming to the last slide of our presentation before we're getting into the questions and answers. So the reason why you should choose for the UF membranes from NX Filtration. I saw that question already coming up. How fast can you deliver? So we have very fast delivery. So I can answer that question already by my last slide. Modular production. We have a very large factory, as Loreen showed in the beginning of the presentation. We have a lot of membranes in stock of all the variety of the different products what we show today. So delivery time is not an issue with NX Filtration. Top quality products made in Europe, made here in Hengelo in the Netherlands. High performance UF designed for the toughest water treatment challenges. We have a global team of service and support engineers. We have a global reach of teams in most of the countries around the globe. So there's always one of our engineers nearby your offices to support you. And I also saw that question popping up already here. How can you support us with the replacement question we have? That is what our teams locally do. That is where we stand for. Not only from the Netherlands, but also locally in the US, in China, in India, wherever in Europe, we are there. A strong global network, as we mentioned, besides our engineering teams, we have an application teams, we have our dedicated sales teams around the globe. So we're always nearby. We have an easy and compatible replacement product. It's plug and play, very low downtime, perfectly to upgrade your system from a smaller membrane area to a bigger module, which has the same physical dimensions, but more square meters in order to increase your capacity. But also one-on-one replacement with the same square meters is a possibility. Sustainable, offering lower energy membranes, lower chemical usage, which reduces the OPEX, which is better for the planet, better for the people in the future. But also our factory is a very sustainable factory where we are reusing our own wastewater, solar panels. So we are ready for the future. And as I already mentioned, we are a made in Europe product. So fibers and modules, everything is being engineered and produced here in the eastern part of the Netherlands. So you have a true European product, which is PFAS-free, polyether sulfone based. So now that we have went through these through the slides, we want to focus on the questions. A lot of questions came in. I published already some. So what do you think is the current trend of PFAS-free UF membranes? Is it going to impact membrane availability in the future? Well, that's an interesting question. What we do know is that there is a lot of talking ongoing about PFAS-free UF membranes. And what we do know is that we, with our PES-based membranes, are ready for the future. So whatever the decision will be, if you have a long-term investment of your system, or your customer has a long-term investment of a water treatment plant, I would reconsider to decide which should be the product to be used in order to avoid future constraints. So that is my answer on that question. How fast can you deliver? I think I already mentioned that. We deliver off the shelf. We have big customers, as Tim already showed. There are large plants globally trusting on our technology, and all these membranes, if any hiccups happens, then they need to have a very low downtime, and we can deliver them very fast to these customers. But it also means for you as a potential new customer, we can deliver very fast for your replacement or your greenfield projects. How do I know when I need to replace? That's an interesting question. Of course, we are willing to assist there with our local teams. We do autopsies here. We do inspections on site, and an autopsy can determine what is the membrane, what is the aging of the membrane, what is the condition of your current product, because it can be affected by any mechanical or chemical contact. So we have our teams ready and have packages available to either on-site to optimize your system, or off-site here at our offices to do an autopsy of your membrane. Then can you support in optimizing our process conditions if we switch to NX membranes? I think I've already answered that by means of our local team. Tim, I think you already addressed this question. Maybe you can elaborate a bit more on it. I have replacement coming up. How can you support me in selecting the right product?
Yes. Thanks for forwarding the question, Rick. Yeah, so definitely we can help there with our local teams being in contact. The best one is always to check first the visual, just from looking at a picture of that installation, whether we have directly can see whether it's a good fit or not. And definitely we can help you looking that for dimensions, connections, checking out those parameters. To ensure you that we have a good replacement option for you. We also, of course, offer not only the module itself, but also connection parts. So also there, if you want to replace headers or so, that is, of course, possible. And we can deliver those ancillary parts. And that also leads a bit to the question underneath. Do you support the installation of the new membranes? So we've shown it in that case study in Saint-Pois. So typically what we can offer is that there is, for example, an engineer from NX Filtration supervising such a replacement if needed, depending also on let's say, the manpower or the knowledge that is there individually on that site. So that definitely we can be creative there in helping and sending someone there willing to support wherever we can to ensure that our products are installed the way they should, and that you are having a reliable and well-running plant. Also, the question for increasing capacity, that is, of course, also possible. Rick was showing the different module types we have. So also the nice thing there is that there is an internal retrofitability, so you can also replace one with the other with a higher surface area without modifying your skid. So that is also possible to either increase the capacity or save, for example, modules, because you can install modules with larger square meters. So then you have to replace for less modules by keeping the same amount of membrane area. Yes. Do we have some more questions in the chat box?
Yeah, I think there's an interesting question which came in. If we deliver membranes in India, and also what is the type of UF membrane, dead end or crossflow, and can we put backwash water of UF system to UF feed, or should we recycle it in the collection tank, and can we UF remove COD or BOD? Yes, we deliver to India. We have a big team in India, scattered over in the north and the south. Both technical and sales colleagues are there. Predominantly, we use our membranes in dead-end mode, but depending on the water application, it's also possible to use the membranes in a cross-flow situation. But as I said, I think most of the cases, it's a dead-end configuration because the majority of the applications require a very high recovery rate. And in cross-flow, this recovery will be much lower. But again, if the application asks for this, in case for high suspended solids or any other challenge in the water, cross-flow is definitely possible. What you normally do is that you backwash use backwash for the permeate. So we backwash from the outside to the in. The filtration goes from the inside to the out. So we use the permeate from the permeate collection tank to backwash the membranes and hydraulically remove the fouling layer from the membranes. From time to time, it might be required to introduce into that backwash chemicals for organic or non-organic fouling, which is sticking to the membrane and cannot be removed by a mechanical cleaning. And then we introduce off-the-shelf hydrochloric acid, caustic, hypochlorite, either in an acid or in a caustic clean to remove that fouling. COD and BOD can partially be removed by either introducing coagulant, inline coagulation in the feed to the membranes, where you will coagulate a big portion of the COD, which is mainly connected to the suspended solids which you are retaining with the membranes. If you really want to move into the COD removal in a much higher rate, then we advise you to look into our hollow fiber nanofiltration membranes, because they can remove without the use of any coagulant in one single step the majority of the COD present in the feed. So I think that is that question. Tim, do we have any more questions which we can answer? I see here a question on warranty. I think the warranty from our membranes is not different from the other membrane supplies. The lifetime of the membranes, what you already saw in some real life examples, is going up to 5 to 7 years, even longer than that. And I think that is also the range of warranty what you may expect from us. But we like to discuss that more in a personal talk, because the warranty is also depending on the conditions, the applications, etc. So, Laureen, can I ask you to look into the question on how we can support to select the right product for the replacement opportunity?
Thanks, Rick. Yeah, so looking into getting the right product, mostly we will need information on the current process that's running. What is the water conditions like? What is the operation like? So any operational data that we may obtain from the plant would be helpful in helping us to select the correct product for you. We will then see, so if you can share the product that's currently in use, the flow rates, and any operational data that can help us select a product that we've currently got in our range to be used as a replacement on the project that you are working on.
Okay, thank you, Laureen. One interesting question, Tim, maybe you can have a look at it. What is the flux rate recommended for wastewater? I understand it's a very broad question, but can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, sure. So there's of course a bit of a it can't be answered generically, in a generally speaking manner. So of course, what we would do is, as probably with any project, independently if it's UF, NF, MF, we start with the water analysis and the targets that the project needs to reach, so the recovery and so on. And from then we would perform the analysis and check out what is possible, feasible, also from our experience with other plants, what the flux rate could be. Wastewater is not always wastewater, so also there it depends on the regions. Maybe it's industrial wastewater or municipal wastewater, which makes quite a difference. But of course, we can use our design tool to give you an estimation of flux rates and recoveries, backwash times, and so on. That is not a problem, to give you a good idea what such a system could look like for your specific challenge.
Yes, great.
Maybe there's one more question here in the chat. That is, I have a system with MBR UF, and if we can use the NF membranes in order to remove the residual, I think it's COD, for the RO fouling. It's not UF related, but yes. And I think we can also invite you to reach out to our local team or to us, that we can forward you to our local presence to discuss further your special project, whether our NF membranes can be fit. If it's MBR pre-treated very well, should always be working out very well. So that just as a little spoiler. But please reach out to us and we can forward that request to the right person.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Tim. I see two more questions coming in. This is an end user who is I assume it's an end user being in this call. And what do you recommend? Can we order directly as an end user? Do you support commissioning and installation? Well, basically, we have an OEM approach. So we work normally with your local partners in your country, and they support you then with the replacement, like the example what Tim showed in Saint-Pois. But we are more than happy to support you here together with any local partner you normally work with. So that is the approach we normally take. In whichever your country is, we have people around the corner, I would say, who can contact you and look for the right solution. An interesting other question, and I think I have to answer that one. What will be your innovation agenda? Will the portfolio be extended with higher square meters? It's an interesting question. Of course, I think it's we are an innovative company. If you look at the whole product portfolio, what we have with our hollow fiber nanofiltration, which is quite an innovative product. A higher square meter area membranes is something we are always looking at. The biggest one we have currently in place is 65 square meter. And with that range, what we showed today, we have the majority of the installed bases what we can cover. And needless to say that we're always looking for more. And I'm not sure if that's an innovation, having more square meters, but that's maybe a different discussion. But yes, we are looking into different kinds of modules, and higher square meters is one of them. But I will not give you all the insights of our innovation agenda. I think you should just watch our next upcoming webinars, I would say. I think with that, we have covered all the questions. With one more, which is also the warranty, which I think I have already answered. That was a double question. There's no more questions coming in. I think we are getting to the end of this webinar. I have to say that that this is recorded. I think Loreen mentioned it already in the beginning. We've recorded this. We have selected all the questions, and we will get back to you with an email with all the information where you can download the recording, where you can look it back, And also we will give an answer to all the questions in a separate email. And we hope to see you in one of our next webinars, either for ultrafiltration or again for nanofiltration. And we'd like to thank you, all of us, for participating today. We really enjoyed it. And once again, thank you and enjoy the day.